Now I've got the two rough outlines of the side plates done, I'm just going to use a sanding disc and get them closer to the outline of the template. So now that I've got one roughly at the shape that I want it, what I'm actually going to do is tack weld the second one on here, and then I'm going to shape that one to be the same as the first one, so they're both identical. So I've just done a couple of little tacks on the bottom here, and that's going to make it easier to get the shape on both of them, so both side plates are exactly the same. And just like that, I've got two pretty much identical side plates. Obviously I still need to cut this section out here, which will go around the indicator. Now I've given it a little bit of a clean up and taken the sharp edges off. Obviously I still need to polish the whole thing and cut out the slot for the rod to go in. But before I do that, I'm gonna get the bike back down and see how these actually look alongside of the bike. Now what I'm going to do, just to stop any sharp edges from scratching the paintwork, while I just test fit this, I'm just going to put a bit of tape over it. This all back together. Now you might be wondering why I've put it so far back from the front seat. It's actually so when I've got my two-up seat on, the sissy bar doesn't hit on the side of the two-up seat, because the seat sort of comes to here. It's roughly yay high, but then it sort of tapers down and flat, so that's why I've got it back here. Yeah, bend with your back. Now I've got the holes drilled. Let's see how it all goes together. All right, now I've got that in, I can semi put it all back together and see how it looks. All right, so we'll chuck this in. Fit it up to see if everything actually lines up now. Hey, now let's see. Oh, would you look at that? Now, if you guys are liking this content, it helps the channel out massively if you throw a like on the video and subscribe as well if you want to keep up to date when I post new videos. Alright, so now I know that that one works. All I've got to do is drill the holes in the other plate, and then we can move on to the next step. So I've swapped the footage up a little bit. So I actually had to take the stainless rod into work to bend it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just laying out the rough outline of what I want the sissy bar to be. And I'm tacking in some other bits of round bark offcuts just so I can bend the steel around those offcuts. Now the reason I took it into work is just because my pipe bender didn't have enough reach on it and I couldn't get the bends that I wanted. And this is where the fun starts. So I'm starting to polish everything up and trying to get it to a mirror finish, or as close as I can. So I'm starting at a 240, then I'm going to a 320 and finishing off with a 2000 grit sandpaper. So I still need to give it a bit of a buff, but that's what it was like. And that's what it looks like now after going 240, 320 and 2000. And now I'm just cutting out the slots so I can stick the stainless rod in there nice and tight. Now, if any of you guys want the measurements so you can make your own side plates for a Sissy bar, just hit me up in the comments or send me a message on my Instagram and I'll figure out how to get it online somehow. Alright, so I've cut the Sissy bar down, loosely mounted both the brackets. Now let's just hope I haven't cut the Sissy bar down too much. It still may be a bit too high. So once again, I'm sanding with the 240, 320 and the 2000, which I did wet, and I basically wanted to do this before tigging it together because it would be an easier process. And I even roped in my mate Scott to give me a chop out and give me a hand because this process of polishing took me nearly 3 hours to do. So I've thrown the Sissy bar back in my all thread jig just so I can tack it up and it wasn't going to move too much. Alright. And one thing I forgot to do before tacking it up was clean the steel. So if any of you guys out there are boiler makers or know how to weld, you can probably hear that those tacks sound pretty dog shit. All right, that'll fit. So I've just put it back in its jig and now I'm going to weld it out, and the light might be a little bit different just because I've shut the door just so no wind comes through and I'll get a clean weld. And just a quick heads up, this video isn't sponsored at all, but I like to help support local businesses, and KO Welding helped me out with the sandpapers and some TIG accessories. So if you're in the need for any welding gear, definitely check them out and I'll throw their link down below. Alright, so these are the welds. I mean, they're not the best, but they'll hold. So I've welded inside and out, and now I'll wait for it to cool, give it a pickle paste, and then might look at putting a cross brace through to stiffen it up a bit more, then install it back on the bike. And there you have it, guys, the final product. Now I've bolted it back in, and I do need to go back over it and get out some of the finer scratches with my sandpaper, but I'll do that later. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think it was worth my time and effort to get this done? Or do you think I should have just brought one and installed it and been done with it? If you've made it this far, I really appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.